So you talked about being very intentional about risk management, anticipating uncertainties, and developing mitigation strategies. Talk a little bit about that. How do you do structure risk management on a large device program?
I could say risk management is really a key element of the program management and it is deeply embedded into the program governance framework. Risks are proactively identified throughout the entire program lifecycle with cross-functional team uh, working on that and collaborating to surface early risks. And then each risk is assessed for its potential impact and likelihood. Team members work together to develop a mitigation plan that would minimize the impact and reduce the probability. But I would say risk management, it's everybody's job. Everybody should really be able to communicate and identify risks. Then we continually really monitor for those changes in risk status or new development. It's a very well established and structured process.
Basically, you're managing variability in an operations science context. We would that's risk. Just basically is managing variability, right? There's a range of things that can happen, and you've got to decide what range you're going to address. So when you were planning say a year long path to market, how do you think about the critical path and the resource constraints across different sites? Do you actually do capacity calculations and looking for blind spots?
Yes, all these factors can potentially create constraints, and mitigating and avoiding those variables is key for the successful outcome. Those variables could be avoided through systematic approach and careful planning and anticipation of potential constraints, as well as effective management of critical paths and interdependencies. As you mentioned, yeah, establishing comprehensive technical governance is key to overseeing technical capabilities and involving a dedicated team to focus on manufacturing and industrialization strategy to smooth out the ramp up process, as you just mentioned. Potential regulatory variability is minimized through continuous monitoring of the regulatory landscape and early change management planning and engaging a regulatory lead in the early phase of the product development. And potential delays in supply chain could be mitigated by supply chain resilience through optimized procurement and localized production if possible, and efficiency in the inventory management. It is important to have standardized vendor selection process and risk assessment of vendors, as well as diversify the supply chain, especially for critical components. It's really, really important. Resource constraints are tackled by applying global resource planning with visualization of site specific constraints to balance workload and avoid bottlenecks. Some gaps in specific skill sets are addressed by leveraging a global shared resource pool. It's a group of domain experts who support various processes and can quickly be engaged to provide that search support when necessary.